The world has changed because of what Trump has done. And the American people, including independents and some Republicans, know how bad he is, know how much he's misrepresented, know how he's getting close to getting us in a war. I said, as the walls close in on this man, I'm worried he's going to get us to war in Iran. Unfortunately, I may have been right. The fact of the matter is there's a lot at stake in this election.
Crooked Joe Biden just agreed to pay a $6 billion ransom to the Iranian dictatorship in exchange for hostages. This is yet another Biden surrender and a further blistering humiliation of the United States of America to the world stage. But even worse, this decision will be extremely deadly. Biden is giving $6 billion to the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. Just as when Obama sent the Iranian regime pallets of cash for hostages in the dark of night, remember? Plane loads of cash. Biden's ransom payment will be immediately used to stoke violence, bloodshed, and mayhem throughout the Middle East and all around the world, costing countless innocent lives. It's also guaranteed that the fanatical Iranian regime will use this money to advance their nuclear weapons program, putting Israel, the United States, and the entire world in very grave peril. They are reportedly just weeks away from a nuclear bomb, something which would have never happened under the Trump administration. Tragically, Biden's ransom payments also make it dramatically more likely that even more Americans will be held captive in the future, because Biden has shown that he will pay gargantuan sums of money, meaning the kidnappers turn a massive profit. They're making money hand over fist. In other words, Biden has put a bounty on the head of every American citizen abroad. Under my leadership, we brought home more than 50 hostages from all over the world, and we never paid ransom money to do it, not at all. We did it with diplomacy, and we did it through strength, and we will do it again when we are reelected as President of the United States. Our country is failing. We are a failing nation. We will turn it around, and we will make America great again.
What's going on, everyone? House Queen here today, and I want to get my analysis about what happened over the weekend. As you guys know, I went to enjoy my birthday on Friday, and it seemed like all hell broke loose. Oh my God, this is a nervous life, right? Because honestly, hey, look, bro. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if World War III started, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm not. Like, it's craziness. Like you saw from the intro, I showed you how. Like this is how I like to look at politics, right? Because if you want to be, what separates a low information voter from a moderate informed voter and a highly informed voter is literally your memory. You have to remember this stuff because these politicians, a lot of them think that the American people have a memory the size of a goldfish. Like you guys will remember stuff and in 5 seconds you forget it. 2020, what was Biden and the Democrats were saying? Oh, Donald Trump will bring us into World War III. Da, 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 da. He's going to give everything to Russia. And then what happened? They end up being the people to do it, right? And this is something that I think that what really turns me off about Democrats is that, and this is the funny part too, because if you follow me on Twitter, I wasn't going on a rampage, but there was a guy, I forgot his name, and I essentially, this was my sentiment on Twitter. I was like, if black people was as skeptical of Democrats as they were about Republicans, they'll get better candidates. We'll all get better candidates. America will get better candidates. That's just my philosophy. I believe that because in the day, look, if you're the camp where, oh, we gotta take people's right to vote and all this stuff, I'm like, that's to me, that's not a practical solution. I think the more practical solution here is education, right? Hey, let me bring up a point, and then you rack your head trying to break it or defend your point or defend your position, and it'll naturally raise. Because I notice people only get better when you challenge them. This is my thoughts. That's my thoughts. This is my method. This is how I perceive things. So let's get into it. So on Twitter, this was a couple days ago. Trump was the president of peace. Biden's the president of war. And there's some, I forgot, maybe someone will help me in the comment section, but I remember seeing something saying that Democrats started more wars than Republicans, right? And Biden seems to show this trend. Obama did the same thing, as Trump pointed out in the intro. And this is how you know if someone's actually based on truth and or just trying to paint a narrative. To me, Democrats are a party of just painting narratives. I feel like the Democrats will say anything, do anything just to appear to be the more competent party, when in reality, they have a lot of bad ideas. And the knock against Republicans has always been that they have good ideas, just bad salesmen. That's the if you want the truth, that's the truth about the Republican Party. You guys got a lot of good ideas, but you just got people who can't pitch it well. That's all it is. And Democrats have bad ideas, but they have a bunch of people that can pitch it well. So this is why I'm like, okay, I got to focus on the American people. American people got to be more knowledgeable. American people got to be more knowledgeable. American people have to have a longer memory. Remember when left-wingers told us that Trump was going to cause World War III? Joe Biden's weakness and a lack of respect for him from our adversaries had led us to war in Europe, the Middle East, Iran, Russia. Hamas feared Trump. They exploit Biden's weakness. Now, I'm going to go through some stories, but before I do that, I want to, I know a lot of people don't like the Daily Wire, but hey, since they do pretty good coverage about the foreign affairs of Israel, I'm not going to get into this. I just want to point out this fact. Biden begins to pressure Israel to minimize response to unprecedented Iranian attack. So this is my thing, man. If someone hit you, I'm not going to tell you how you're going to respond, because I'm like, hey, look, you struck them first. If they hit your butt, hey, that's it. But when you want me involved in your fight, hey, I'm going to hit you back and I want you to hit. Nah, I'm like, okay, look, bro, this is not our problem, bro. This is not our problem. But I'm not going to sit here. And this is, look, I remember Trump got flacked by telling Jewish liberals, if you vote Democrat, you're essentially, the same card that Democrats play on black people that vote for Republicans. Essentially, Trump insinuated something similar for Jewish people. And I heard a lot of Jewish people got mad. Donald Trump shouldn't be telling Jewish people how to vote. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, it's like I see myself in these Jewish people when they were backlashing against Trump. But at this point, I can understand why Trump can arrive to that conclusion. So in this next clip I'm about to show you guys, I'm going to show you a parallel between September 2023 of what this, I forgot this guy's name, Kirby? This guy. Kirby defends Kirby defends Biden easing sanctions on Iran, leading to billions in oil revenue, right? And because obviously this guy's going to get a lot of flack, because check out this clip right here, and then I'll give you my follow-up thoughts. Let's take a look.
The U.S. will have visibility, and will be able to engage in oversight about where the money was going and for what purpose. If Iran tries to divert the funds, we'll take action and we'll lock them up again. And there will be sufficient oversight to make sure that the request is valid and that it's going through vendors who we and the Qataris can trust will actually contract for the goods, the medical equipment, the food, whatever it is. The regime doesn't get to touch the money, Peter. Doesn't go to them. They don't get to decide ultimate destination, and they have no direct access to it.
John, Iran made 2 transactions withdrawing from the previously frozen funds in Oman. What were those transactions for?
I don't have the details on that, Jackie. You're gonna have to let me get back to you on that.
What's going on with the world? What's going on? Everybody's fighting. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, the Middle East is blowing up. Everything's blowing up. China's going to be next with Taiwan because of weakness. China's going to be next. What's going on? He said, bring Donald Trump back as president and it'll all stop. It'll all stop.
I swear, I think Democrats just like, look. You can make a lot of claims about Republicans. You can be like, oh, they're too zealot. Oh, at least, the Republicans, or like a lot of Republican conservatives, they're like, oh, wow, we'll lose on principle, right? And I can respect that a little bit more than someone who outright lies to you and said they have a comprehensive plan to track the money. And then what? A couple months later, like maybe 3 months later, you ask the guy, hey, Iran just did the thing that you said that wouldn't happen, and you'll be able to track it. So do you know where the money is? I don't know. Nah. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. We really might go to war today. Wow. This is crazy because I can't say now, oh, America got to be neutral. I mean, we can, but at this point, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the right move is, right? Like I said, foreign affairs ain't my specialty, but I know one thing for sure. Like we already funding more for Ukraine. We've been giving, I think, Israel constant money through and through, even with the public kind of being, neutral on the whole Israel thing. When I make statements before where I said, oh, I believe that a lot of Americans are falling for low information, that a lot of them don't pay attention to politics like that. I don't think that's necessarily true anymore. Now I think it's just we have a lot of people that they care about one issue and they don't care about the rest. Like they don't care if, we'll go to World War III as long as they have a pro-life president, right? Like now everyone's going at Trump because Trump is trying to make a political calculation. And I believe the political calculation by Trump is right because people are letting the perfect get in the way of the good. Oh, I want Trump to be more pro-life. Well, Trump is neutral right now. As a politician, he's neutral. And I think it's not a politician's job to be advocating for policy. That's the American populace job. And this is one thing I've been saying, that in our American culture, it seems like we've been looking for saviors instead of recognizing that we are our own saviors. These politicians are just a means for us to achieve a goal, right? And I think this is the backwardness of politics has become, right? I don't look at Donald Trump as a leader. I just merely see him as a representative of a platform that I want implemented in a country. I see us as the saviors. We have to save ourselves. That's the philosophy I think I'm preaching from this channel. Is that if American people want better, they must not demand better, but they must want better. And the only way you can get that is through a united culture, through a national identity, which Vivek speaks out about a lot. And seeing what's going on, like when they give you the spiel, when these Democrats give you the spiel, they give you something that sounds good, that sounds practical, but really there's no plan. When Kirby was giving him his little stance there, right? When he was talking about, oh, we could track the funds and all this stuff, it sounded good, but he really didn't give you any plan. He was just saying stuff. Because then when he was asked, when they actually did it, right? When Iran did it, they asked, hey, Kirby, where'd the money go? Oh, I gotta get back to you. I don't know what happened there. Biden to Netanyahu, USA will not back counterattack against Iran. Now, I kind of agree with this. Remember, look, America in 2024, we Sweden right here. We want to be Sweden right now. We don't want to be involved in nothing. We funding them already. I think demanding any more will be kind of presumptuous from Netanyahu. But hey, he's an ally, whatever. If you're buying stuff from us, that's one thing. Like, hey, we'll buy you discounted. I don't care. But if we're just gonna give you foreign aid, just money for nothing, that's the problem people have. Tax dollars are being used. Money's being allocated. We spend more. If someone can tell me how much money we spend on foreign aid versus what we do on domestic issues on our own border, it will, to me at least, me just guessing here, I believe we spend more on foreign aid than we do on any domestic issues currently in the U.S. And I think that's a problem. I am of a stance that I don't believe in zero foreign aid, but I believe out of our budget, 80% of that has to be spent on issues for the American people and 20% on foreign aid. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying give no money to no other foreign country. I'm just saying it has to be a minority in the division of resources, because how are you going to make the American taxpayers pay 100% of the bill, but less than 50% of the bill is for the American people and for foreign aid in other countries? Make it make sense. I think that's the problem a lot of people are having. This is why people resonate with Donald Trump, right? Pro-life people are mad with Donald Trump. They mad at Carrie Lake. Oh, you guys are being pro-choice, because they know, hey, at a swing state, you're doing something this drastic, you're going to cause a backlash against the Republican Party, and we can't afford that right now. We're making a political calculus right here, because we're meeting people where they're at. And when we meet people where they're at, we'll say, hey, look, this is a better choice. That's up to these pro-life organizations to do that. You guys got to change the culture. I already said it. politics is a downstream of culture. If the culture is like, hey, we believe abortion with exceptions, you have to cater to that, and you have to get them to change their position from that. Like that, I don't understand. Like I feel like a lot of people, they just want, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just think people are trying to hand off the hard work on the politicians. No, you got to push the policy and you got to advocate for. I don't think that's not how our system's supposed to work. In my view, anyway. I think a lot of these people who are pushing Trump to be like a pro-life president are kind of pushing responsibility from themselves to politicians. My point has always been it's up to social commentators and these political pundits to change the culture on these topics. You got Bill Maher to admit that abortion essentially is murder. Run on that, like speak about that, show that off instead of using that to criticize Trump. Trump is a politician; he's trying to win. But I digress. People want to look at these people as saviors. I don't. But I digress. I want to show up a clip from Vivek Ramaswamy when he was making these points about foreign policy, and everyone was saying, "Oh, Vivek don't know what he's talking about." And it seemed like everything that's happened, Vivek kind of hinted at, and I'll try to give an example of that in this clip right here. So let's take a look.
Bibi's former national security advisor was quoted in an article earlier today when he was asked the question of, well, what happens after Hamas? His exact words were, "I don't give a damn. I used to think first, act later. I don't think that way in light of last weekend." And I understand, as I did in this country, the pain of what people have gone through. You respond with emotion. But the thing I worry about, Tucker, right now is what I see is the left-wing criticism of Israel's what looks like to be soon to be ground invasion of Gaza is about proportionality and about injustice and humanitarian aid. Even if you just put all that to one side, from a U.S. perspective, from an Israel perspective, how is this actually going to achieve a good result? And my concern right now, and as we're having this conversation, it appears imminent that Israel is going to mount a ground invasion into Gaza. I'm concerned that a ground invasion into Gaza without clearly defined objectives is going to be the start of another no-win war that is not good for Israel and not good for the United States. And so one of the things I've been thinking about just in recent days, you hear a lot of histrionics here, a lot of bloodthirsty neocons, in fact, far less reasonable than even many Israelis that are far more rational about this than some here in the United States, is how could this play out? Right? So if we just think about one reasonable scenario, let's just go step by step in terms of where we are. Israel mounts a ground invasion into Gaza, okay? It doesn't have a clearly defined goal, but they've mounted that ground invasion. That crosses a red line that Hezbollah has previously identified, saying that that's their red line for attacking Israel. And this might be exactly when Israel is mired in a ground conflict in Gaza, which I worry could be a trap. Networks, kilometers upon kilometers of tunnels, a lot of traps that they could walk into. That could be a moment that's perfectly appropriate, unfortunately, for Hezbollah to decide to go after Israel.
Yeah, man, we don't deserve for Vivek, man. I honestly, we had a chance to elect this guy, but hey, look, I'm just saying, look, I'm still pro Vivek. That's my guy. This is who I would vote for. This is my ideal candidate. This is, I think, moving forward after Trump, after the 2024 election, I want more politicians in the kind of form that Vivek is represented here. A goal without a plan is just a dream. And this is pretty much the critique that Vivek had about the whole, like, Israel going to Gaza. What is the metrics what is the goal, right? This is why I think right now Israel had a lot of pushback against people on the center, the more anti-war types, because they're like, okay, what's your goal here? You want to get the hostages, targeted strikes, which shows that to me, you can't do targeted strikes with Gaza. I mean, at the end of the day, the optics was always gonna look bad for Israel, right? Then, as he stated, Hezbollah goes in, and they say, "Okay, this is justification because you're invading Gaza, right?" Everyone's trying to find an excuse to fire rockets. This is what's going on right now, and now it's escalated to it. Even Trump kind of told Israel, "Hey, wrap it up quickly, right? Like, go in, be decisive, boom, 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 you out." Right, and you're ready on guard for anything else. Right now, I think Israel's about to have the same problem that U.S. is about to have. Right, you're spread too thin. You got the Gaza thing going on. Hezbollah attacked you from the north. You worrying about that? Then Iran got involved now? It's like, yo, come on. You're spread to the focus is like, oh my, yo, this is why I'm saying I'm nervous right now, right? What has transpired since, and I got this clip from DV. You guys can probably find him if you want the full video right here. I think it was a good conversation, and it seems to fall in line with a lot of what Vivek was telling them, that think slow, not fast. Don't be reactionary, be methodical, right? But, end of the day, you can't fault people from reacting emotionally from an attack that was fresh in their minds. Hamas, including what has transpired since 10/7 or October 7th. Hamas, including its leaders, still has not been eliminated. 600 plus Israeli soldiers has been killed. Dozens of Israeli hostages have been killed. 30,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed. The ICJ has ruled there is a possible case Israel is committing genocide. Plausible, that doesn't mean it's likely. Plausible, right? I know Ben Shapiro about to go ham on anybody who even suggests this, but I digress. U.S. assets in the region has been attacked over 100 times, resulting in American casualties. Both in, I don't know how to say this, so I won't say it, in Yemen and Hezbollah have launched attacks against Israel. Iran is threatening imminent direct intervention against Israel. And this is based on the thing I'm saying what can't be said. Israel has been defeated, a total defeat, right? This is just a warning. I don't know where this is going to go. I'm sure, I'm going to listen to Ben Shapiro today because look, this is how I am. I want to get as much points as I can. The pro-Israel side, I'm not going to listen to the pro-Palestine side, but I'll consider people who have some hesitancies towards that side. Hey, you killed a bunch of people. Hey, Israel might be engaged in war crimes. Hey, I believe that Israel went in with no plan. The prime minister said he didn't give a damn about the plan. Kenny, I'm not down with that. I want to find information, as much information as I can about this conflict, so I can give you guys a better insight on it. Because at this point, I'm nervous, bro. I've been as nervous as I've been in a long ass time. Former Israeli Prime Minister Barnett fires back at Trump. I keep thinking Trump today. Back at Biden. Hints what Israel will do with Iran. I think the reason I keep thinking Trump is the fact that they for a long time, and then I'll end off of this video on this. For a long time, Democrats have been saying that, oh, Trump is going to get us into war. Trump is going to do this. Trump is going to do that. And they're doing everything that they say Trump was doing. They got all the results that they say Trump would get. And this, to me, it kind of highlights, like, in the day, you could talk a big game, right? I played sports in my life. You know those players, they talk a big game. Oh, I can do this. Oh, we'll blow you out by 30. And then when they get owned and they get blown out by 40 by you, you go, where was all that bravado before? Where did you think, like, with your skills, you wouldn't even be able to beat me by 10? You wouldn't even be within 20 points. So where does all this false confidence come from? And that's how the Democratic Party remind me of. They remind me of a guy that when they're on the sidelines, they have all this trash talk. They think they can do all this. They think they tell you what they're going to do to you. They talk so much trash. And then when they finally get in the court, AKA when they're finally in charge, shambles. You find out they can't dribble. They can't run foreign policy. They sold you a fluff of air. That's how the Democratic Party comes across to me. And when I tell people, hey, 2024, I don't believe there's no point in voting for this party right now, because this party needs to shape up. And the only way it's going to learn how to shape up is if you give them a big consequence, AKA you blow them out by 30. But it seems like people don't understand that. Like, the politicians don't change unless they suffer a consequence. You have to make them suffer a consequence. Black people, your vote has been taken for granted. You got to make them suffer a consequence. But it's like people don't know that they have power. It's so baffling to me. People think they're helpless in this society. I don't understand where this idea got pushed onto the black community. Oh, wait, I know where it came from. Liberal schools, liberal policies, white liberals telling them they can't do, they're helpless because of their skin color. And now this thinking is being bred into the American people. 76% of the American students are educated in American schools, American government schools, aka public schools. They're being taught that they're helpless. They can do nothing about this. You can. Make the incompetent party that got you into this mess, kick them out. And make it so overwhelmingly so that these people will look and reflect on themselves and say, we need a change or else we'll never win an election again. Because these politicians only care about power. And the only consequence they seem to respect is when they lose power. So America, make this incompetent party lose power. Hey, I'm a Vivek guy, but this is the biggest. Like, Donald Trump should just make this an ad and he'll win. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope to hear what you guys are saying, what you guys are thinking. Whatever your side is on this issue, I would like to hear your thoughts to help form my own. Let me hear what you guys are thinking. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.